Welcome back to That's Major, where tonight's topic is kings and queens. We will be talking about what makes a king or a queen, what that looks like to us in modern day, and just overall how to walk in your purpose as a king and queen.
Man, so what do you think a king? What makes a person a king or a queen? Or do you? What is the definition of a king or a queen?
I,
Just
kn-
the traditional, the traditional definition.
I know for a queen to be a queen, the definition says that she has to inherit it from her, some type of inheritance from her parents, either a king or a queen, but from her father or mother, or she has to marry a king to be a queen.
Okay.
I have to see what a king is, or can you tell us off the dome?
Okay. Yeah. A king comes to power when the previous monarch dies, who is usually a family member of his, most likely a parent. What I see from that in modern times is you can't be a king without a kingdom. We just heard that, you know what I'm saying? That's basically both definitions. To me, a kingdom in 2023 looks like having your life and your situations in order, having a purpose, having some vision. For a king, that's what I think. And it's a lot of things, a lot of knots. It's not it's not having your credit out of whack. It's not living check to check. It's your word not meaning nothing. Your word have to be bond if you're gonna be a king. It just have to be a man without standards is not a king. What do you think about queens? And what it would, and what just your small first take on what it would take to be a queen, and some reasons that modern day times women wouldn't be a queen, would disqualify you.
I mean, it depends on because today so many people, address each other as king or queen, but I don't believe that you can be a queen, you know what I'm saying, without a king, unless there was some type of inheritance. And if we want to kind of go deep into it, I think we all could be because when we just talking about the dominance of black and what we come from, we all come from where there was kings and queens as our ancestors. So if we want to walk in that purpose, we can. I mean, that's why, the other cultures take to us, or, what I'm saying, we're dominant in so many areas where we can thrive and successful in. And I think that's why they do so much to hold us down. But if we're just going to kind of keep it to where we are now, I think you can be a queen or you can be in the process of becoming a queen. I really don't think you can be a queen unless you have some type of inheritance. We're talking about your dad has to be rich, right? Because you have to have, the definition said you have to have some type of inheritance from your parents, mother or father, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have something that they gave you or they're leaving. And I don't even think it has to always be materialistic.
It doesn't. It doesn't. But back to the inheritance, you have to. It has to be something that you can rule over. Metaphorically, can you your dad or mother or both parents can leave you inheritance of something simple like good morals, ethics, being classy, things like that. But do you stand on that? Is there something that you building on? But it's really saying that a country or a monarch, something that a person rules over. So it would seem to be that you might need something to be material.
Well, I mean, so if you're looking at a king modern day, right? His kingdom, I would say, is maybe his wife, his children, his family.
Yeah.
How he's leadership over there. He's leading, you know what I'm saying? And they have something. But
I agree.
It's not always materialistic. As far as a queen, I think
I was speaking on the inheritance part as
okay.
well. Yeah, I was speaking on the inheritance part. That's what I was saying. So besides the inheritance, what would disqualify a woman, in your opinion, from being a queen? Because like you said, people walking around calling each other kings and queens, you know, and women are validating other women. So
I'm old school, right? I am. I come from women, you know what I'm saying, or the different women that were older who taught us some type of value. You know, they taught us stuff or said sayings like, you know, leave something for the imagination. Pretty is what pretty does. He ain't gonna buy the cow if you're getting the milk free. All those type of sayings. So, you know, there was some type of morals or standards. And today's world, they letting it all hang out. I'm sorry. I mean, sorry, not sorry. You can't be a queen if you out stripping. You know, all the women's about, they promoting being naked. They're talking about strippers. They're talking about just getting the money for the men, from the men and this and that. I don't think that's queen behavior. So I think that's definitely a disqualification. I don't care how much they got it together or whatever. I mean, I think being a queen, you have to walk in your purpose. You have to walk as a queen. And if you walking around with your butt hanging out and your breasts hanging out and stuff, I really don't think that's a queen. But that's just my opinion. So
yeah, that's a great opinion. You touched on people being naked nowadays, and so that will go with dignity. I don't know if I think a woman will have to have a certain level of dignity, probably a high level of dignity to be a queen.
And integrity.
And
self-morals. I mean, come on.
Yeah. It seems these morals and, you know, all these good things have went out the window in recent times, in my opinion.
It definitely have. A lot of women think they have to show. I don't think you have to show or state the obvious. If you got it, or you don't even have to. When I say it, I was thinking about, you know, a woman who is curvy or, you know what I'm saying, this and that. But really, if you're just a beautiful woman, that you don't have to state the obvious. You can still draw the same attention that a naked girl draw, except your attention or your impression will last longer with a better intention to that man than the naked girl. So you don't have to really compete with that. A queen doesn't compete.
So another thing that you touched on was nobody's buying the cow if you're getting the milk for free. Translation. Why would I marry you and you've given me everything that any guy would get in a marriage? You know what I'm saying? So doing this, I think, hinders women from becoming a queen because, like you said, you're giving away the milk for free without the buyer purchasing the cow. What, you know, can you elaborate on that right there that you touched on?
Well, not only, I like the perspective that you gave, but they're not just giving it out free to you. They're giving it to the world. I don't think no real king wants to see or wants his woman allowing every man to see what he...
Social media.
I'm just
Instagram.
saying. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I don't think he wants that. I mean, I don't care how cute the couples is, and they got all these celebrity, you know, models that they think is it, and that's what's up. But really, I think when it comes down to marriage, when it comes to a man really wanting to build with you, he don't want you to showcase everything to everyone. And I know like what's the girl name that Gucci married to and stuff?
Oh man, she's awesome.
She's
Dior
beautiful.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
Gucci.
so I get that the modern times is different because people idolize them, right? And she does let it all hang out. She poses and this and that, but that's whatever agreements. But I think
she's normally with Gucci.
She's with her husband.
She's normally with her husband.
She's normally with her husband.
So I'm not gonna shade her.
I'm not shading it. I'm saying I get that that's what modern day, they idolize that type of stuff, but I think 90% of the men don't really want you out like that. Or if they are okay with it, like you said, she's always with him, so he's there to protect her. And then again, they're out in the public eye. They're painting a certain image in a way that they want you to get because he's a rapper and wants you,
Yeah.
So, I don't think those are good qualifications. I also believe that, so as a woman who was a single parent, right, I would love to sit here and say I was a queen before I met you, Major. But the truth of the matter is I wasn't. I was probably in a queen of the making. I maybe was a princess. Now, even though my title wasn't queen yet, I operated as a queen. You know what I'm saying? I walked in. I think you have to have certain, things about you or certain qualities about you as well to be able to. That's already in progress before you meet your king.
Well, in the case of a single mother with especially with two boys, you were trying to raise princes, so you had to try to operate on some type of queenship, even though it was still a princess role. Since you touched on that, princes and princesses in the making of kings and queens, that's what you are without a husband or a wife in 2023. Men, that's what you are without having your life and situation in order, without having a purpose, without having vision. If you don't have these things, don't even worry about it. You want to be a prince in the making, whether you had inheritance or not. You want to be a princess in the making, whether you had inheritance or not. You can achieve these things.
So, are you a prince in the making if you still stay home with your mama? Are you a prince in the making if you driving your woman car? I'm just asking.
Situationally, let's do that. Let's do that. So, situationally, are you talking? Is he 25 and older? And that's giving a lot of leeway because that shouldn't be the number. It should be a lot lower. But is this male 25 or older still living with his mother? Yes or no?
I think when I think about guys who's not a prince, yes.
Yeah, if he's 25 or older living with his mother, I don't think he's a prince in the making of a king. I don't think he's a prince on his way to becoming a king. He needs to, you know what I'm saying? He can become a prince. He can become a king still, no problem.
But he needs to focus on himself.
Yeah. He needs to focus on getting things in order. Order would be not living in my mother's house, you know what I'm saying? Taking advantage of my mother still as an adult male.
Or a woman.
Or
don't move in with her and trying to take over, because technically that's not your kingdom.
No,
she built it. I'm just saying because you got so many guys, and the only reason I wanted to bring and touch that because there's so many guys that are still doing that. There's so many guys that still, like you said, 25 and older, living with their mom. There's so many guys who, and I mean they do. They actually look for women that they can try to go and be, you know what I'm saying, and live with them and do, you know what I'm saying. So yeah,
I agree. I think it's very important for men. Or princes on the way to becoming a king to understand what we are not. Don't line yourself up to be a fool, claiming king, but being a real peasant. So identify what you want, make goals, and talk to other successful men. That's what we do. We don't like doing that. Swallow your pride, whatever that's called. You know what I'm saying? Humble yourself. Go and talk to other successful men that you would like to be like, men that you know that are kings. Mm-hmm. You know, target those guys. Get up under some mentorship. You know, if you're not able to get that from your father, your uncles, your grandfather. And I think ladies that are princesses trying to become a queen, I think personality. Personality, attitude, and dress code in these modern times will get you where you need to go. Touching on the dress code, to go back to what you said just a minute ago, we'll get to personality in just a minute. Touching on the dress code, what you was talking about, he doesn't want to see you naked. And when I say that, I mean like, you know, Instagram kind of wilding out, you know, the only shots you showing is side shots, back shots, you know, all these things like that. With the mad cleavage out, mad thighage out, you know what I'm saying? We don't want our thighs all on Instagram, ladies.
Well, not only that, that's not saying you won't get the attention that you're looking for, because obviously when women do that, they're wanting attention, right? That's not saying you won't pull the man that, you know, you might not pull a man, but I'm just saying I think 90% of the men is not going, even if they date you, you know what I'm saying, with all of that, I don't think they're going to marry you. I don't think they're going to build a life or a family with you. Even if they get you pregnant or something, you know what I'm saying? They might, I don't think they want all of that out. Now, I'm not, and every relationship is different. Every man and woman, just because a man or a woman, they might agree that it looks like this with them, and if they're okay with it, that's not to say they're not kings or queens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they're in agreement on whatever that looks like to them. But I'm just saying, majority of men do not just want everyone to know exactly what he getting at home.
Yeah, I totally agree with it. I think another thing that I didn't touch with those three for the women, as far as personality, attitude, and dress code, is also trying to maintain your virtue from day one. Virtue, things like selflessness, being healthy, loving, patient, beautiful. I mean, you all are born beautiful, but you know that beauty can turn into ashes. Wisdom, faith, womanly virtues. Keep these things from day one, because once you don't got them, reputation starts. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when I think of a virtuous woman, I'm thinking about, and I have to take it with our beliefs of Christianity, it's the Proverbs 31 woman. I think you can't go wrong. Even if you're not there yet, if you read Proverbs 31, you will see what they say a virtuous woman is. So, you know, a lot of times circumstances or things may happen to people that they may feel like, you know what I'm saying, that don't mean you're not virtuous. You can still, you know what I'm saying, walk into that purpose, I guess, or into that light, or what you have. Every woman is born beautiful.
Correct.
To preserve it, you just want to carry yourself a certain way. You mentioned attitude. You know, it's so sad in this day of time. You got so many women who feel entitled. I mean, there was the thing going on Facebook with women talking about, you can't take me to this type of restaurant. I want this and that. And the truth of the matter is, majority of the women can't take themselves to them restaurants. And that spirit of entitlement it's ugly on you. It's like you're gonna miss out on some blessings thinking that somebody just gonna do for you. You don't work. I'm just saying, you don't work. You probably don't cook like you should, or this and that, but you want a man to come in, work, take care of you, do all this stuff because you cute. I just think the way times is going, they got it twisted. That ain't what's up. I ain't teaching my sons to do it.
I have to touch on that since you touched on it. I think he had scheduled them a really nice dinner at a really nice upscale steakhouse.
I thought it was Longhorns.
No. Originally, he had scheduled them a really nice steak dinner at a really nice steakhouse. She was an hour late getting late. He was outside getting ready. He was outside waiting.
I didn't know that.
When you make reservations for a real nice place, you have to be on time. She wasn't on time, so he tried to, you know what I'm saying?
Substitute or to go somewhere so they can still get to know each other, and that's what the date really should be about.
That's what the date was supposed to be about, you know. But she sat in the car and said that she refused to go into the Cheesecake Factory.
I don't know what it was.
Me and my wife went to the Cheesecake Factory for our 1 year anniversary, and man, we enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Loved it. Every time we go, I'll be ready to try a new cheesecake because I always get the red velvet. But I'm like, I want to try it. So I think your attitude definitely plays a part. What men want to deal with a nasty attitude? What men want to deal with a unsubmissive, you know what I'm saying, personality, or, you know, and again, that entitlement is just ugly. The way women is really starting to feel entitled, you know. I just think. And I mean, come in, tell us what you think. You know what I'm saying? If you disagree or do agree. I'm just speaking because I have boys. I also, you know, before I got married, dated, and I just think that ain't cute.
Yeah, if you guys getting any value from this, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment. Also, shout out to all our viewers up north. We appreciate you guys.
Awesome.
Back to personality, and I'm speaking on the lady. She's not loud and cussing. I think they turn guys off. I mean, he still want to smoke with you, chill with you, and knock you down. But that's it. You know what I'm saying? You smoke. We smoking together. Then You smoke what they smoke? They fired they BLK Smooth.
Blacks,
They fired they black. They loud. They cussing. That's a part of personality that women, I think, they should tone it down.
well, not only that, we was just out. What was that? Yesterday, at the Cigar Lounge, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yes, it was really nice. Nice vibes.
Yeah.
So we're in the Cigar Lounge, which is, of course, majority men. And it was different men from different places. I think it was a guy said he was from Baltimore. It was another one from Tennessee. We're here in Alabama. It was another. I mean, y'all all got to talking, guys, right? And the guys started talking about that. They were saying how they don't want a woman who, like you said, loud or drinking in public or smoking. And it kind of, when I was listening to these guys give their opinion on what they thought, it's almost like what's the saying, a lady in public and the free
a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets.
Yeah, that's the saying. So I'm not saying
that's what we want.
We're not saying, and I'm not saying, and I don't think you are either, saying, hey, you can't smoke, you can't do this and that.
God,
I think what men really want is a lady and to be seen with a lady. And whatever y'all decide to do on your own at home, let it be y'all. And it kind of goes the same way, like we said with dressing. A man wants a lady in public, and that ain't cute. Keep it cute, keep it classy. Which is sad because a lot of women don't even know what classy is.
Time appropriate behavior matters. If you do smoke BLK Smooths, if you do smoke blacks, if you do have drinks, maybe he wouldn't want to be represented like that. Not just in public, but maybe not in public with the family, or maybe I don't know. Some certain
You don't want your good spoken
evil love. Yeah. Figure out your man, ladies. Men. No, we weren't finished with the. I think we were finished. Yeah, yeah. Identifying what you want and knowing what you are not. Okay.
For a king.
For a king, you know what I'm saying. For a prince.
In the making.
Of a king.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying. For a prince in the making of a king, you have to identify what you want and identify what you are not. Do that right away, guys. If you're not quick with it. You know what I'm saying? Be slow to speak. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're gonna sound like a fool in public talking to people. That's embarrassing. She don't like it. You don't like it. The lady that you want to talk to don't like it. You know what I'm saying? None of that. It's just you lame. That's whack. Don't do it. Make some goals, some real goals. Write down some things. What do you want to be at in 5 years? I know it's cliche, guys, but you got to write it down. That's serious. It really helps. Write it down and check these things off. Make some small short-term goals. And last but not least, of course, talk to other successful men. Make sure you're talking to other successful men. If your dad's not a millionaire, he can't teach you how to be a millionaire. Unfortunately, guys, you have to identify what you come from. If you don't come from kings, they can't teach you how to be a king, guys. It's just impossible. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Go follow you somebody who's kingly and get you some kingly game.
And you have to also take in that a woman, kind of to piggyback on the part of, what the parts for the women, the things that you state as far as like your attitude, your appearance and all this stuff. We are a reflection of our men. You know what I'm saying? So again, like you said, get to know your man, know what he is and what he would like. Just because he's saying, hey, when we're in public, don't do this or act like this or dress certain ways, doesn't mean he's controlling or anything. He wants you to reflect him. You know what I'm saying? So if he's trying to do that, I think a lot of time it kind of goes with that attitude. We automatically think, oh, you controlling, or, you know what I'm saying, you can't tell me, you won't let me be myself. We kind of had some conversations, but I think a lot of women really does feel that way. And it's like, no, he wants you to reflect him. He wants you to, and at the end of the day, we want to be a reflection of light together to draw people into the kingdom. So we have to, behave a certain way. But even if you're not there, whatever, you want to reflect some type of positivity, and you definitely want to reflect him in a good image,
And another thing on that topic, you talking about attitude and personality. You kind of talking about both. A woman operating in her femininity, in her sweetness, it's hard for a woman to come at a man who's this woman is sweet and feminine, and she's asking for something, or she wants something, or she wants him to be concerned about what she's concerned about, it's hard for him to not be concerned about that unless it's an outlandish request. It's hard for him to say no to that woman if she operating in her femininity and her sweetness. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly.
It's hard for a man to say. Now, like I said, if it's not an outlandish request, now if you operating in your thug, or if you operating in your masculine ladies, then I mean, it's gonna be easy for It's easy for him to tell a guy no. You know what I'm saying?
And then again, you know, masculine and feminine matches each other, right?
Yeah.
And I can honestly speak from experience. You know, a lot of times we might feel, because, you know, we're here to help the black man or to be the helpmeet, or, you know what I'm saying? You know how that goes. So a lot of times we might feel like, well, I want to tell him this, or he needs to know this, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And like I said, I don't think, as you mentioned, you know, I think you told me this before, no man can turn around that feminine energy that's soft, that's sweet, you know, that's caring. You know, it's a way to get your point. It's a time and a place for everything, but it's a way that you can say, especially if you have a man, you know what I'm saying, that you can, you can get him to see your point. You can get him to almost just by being sweet, and they love it. How can he say no to that?
Unless he just don't got it, or unless it's, like I said, an outlandish request, he's gonna try to see about that.
Right. Because the man wants to protect. He wants to provide. It's naturally in him. Now, if you're that type of woman that want to be, like you said, aggressive, that masculine, and I'm just, because, you know, they say, what's the little male? I don't even know. Them, not an alpha male, but what's the little male? That beta male. You're going to end up getting that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? And really, us women, and I'm just talking about the majority, I don't think many women, you got some women that like, I guess, the beta male, that want to run over them and stuff. That's weird, but I mean, that's what they want to do. They can do that. But most women, even the what they would call an alpha female, you know what I'm saying, wants a masculine, protected, you know what I'm saying? She wants all of that. And that just made me think of something. These guys, especially you young guys, just because a woman wants protection, just because she wants the masculinity, it doesn't make you a prince or a king when you walk around with the gun talking about you tough and stuff. That ain't cute. We don't like it. We don't. We want to feel protected without you being overly, I don't know, what is that about? That's something new. I be seeing a lot of people with the guns and, you know, posting like that. I don't think a woman feels safe with that. I actually, if me personally, if my husband was be posting up with guns, I would feel more afraid for us, you know what I'm saying? Even though we're licensed and have guns, you won't know it, but he's going to protect me. So I think, stop that. I just wanted to say that real quick.
To the mothers, before the show's over, to the mothers raising young princesses, it's okay to raise them to be into their feminine side, opposed to, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, and especially in this new day and time, you know, we raise our daughters to be independent now. Not understanding that we're raising our daughters to become the men that they want. We're raising our daughters to become the men that they desire, and so that's not gonna. If your daughter becomes the man that she desires, she's not going to be able to attain this man, because she has had to take on so many masculine traits to get to this level of true independence. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not depending on anybody, not worrying about him following God and you following him. Mm-hmm. Staying on course so much. Like us parents, mothers, fathers, we teach our daughters to stay focused on this education right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We don't ever bring up stay focused on this feminine, stay focused on this level of energy right here. So parents, make sure you're allowing your children to tap into their feminine, for the girls, so they can become princesses in the making of queens, and make sure that you allowing your sons to tap into their masculine, so they can become princes and ultimately become a king. So what else did you have?
Well, one thing I don't want to fail to mention is, you mentioned, as far as women, we're talking about the attitude and personality, right? Well, that also counts with the men too. You don't want a man who is loud and not just, trying to show, like it's almost coming off like you're trying to prove something that you're not. And it comes off that you're not, you know what I'm saying? Because you got guys, when they see women or pretty women stuff, they want to put on and do all this extra stuff. And I can honestly speak for majority of women, we don't think that's attractive. That ain't cool. We don't want that. We want somebody who really knows how to act and walk in who he is. He don't have to say or put on because his presence says exactly what he is. So, guys, fellas, stop doing that.
And I think, all guys know exactly what you're talking about. I think that's going to end our show tonight. And I really enjoyed this, Kings and Queens. I'd like you guys to tap in and like, subscribe, share, also comment. And that's been Major.
That's Major.